Hello, and welcome to a new series that I thought of. Now, I'm gonna say, for very first of all, the videos usually will probably be a little bit fancier than this one's gonna be. As you can probably tell by the title, this one's a little bit late, just because I kept getting distracted and not having time to record it. So, the idea is that usually it'll be on Friday, and there'll be a lot more editing involved. But with this one, I'm trying to do it quickly. One, because it's so late, and two, because I'm doing this before work. But basically, this series idea was sort of inspired by when on Top Gear they would do the news. For those of you who watch Top Gear, um, but it will be more stuff relating to my channel as well as um, if I find anything interesting going on in the real world having to do with trucking or vehicles in general, I'll put that in here as well. This video is probably going to be also longer than usual because I've been wanting to do this for a few weeks and kept forgetting. um, so I guess the first thing we can talk about, because you'll have seen it, is my new intro. Not really much to talk about. It's just I felt like the old one didn't come out the way I wanted it to, so I did another one, and this one came out closer to how I wanted it to do. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, because I've only shown it to one other person so far, and that was my brother, so he wasn't really that impressed. But anyway, beyond that, I do have some real world sort of information, and like I said, usually there'll be more like planning gone into these, but I didn't have the time this time. So basically, if I'm sitting around waiting for something at work or whatever, I'll just get on my phone, and my phone is a Pixel 3. If I'm on the home screen and I swipe all the way over to the left, it just brings up random like various articles that Google just brings up randomly having to do with my search history and such like that, which is a very cool feature. And one of the ones that I found was that the trucking company Prime Inc. and I'll link this article in the description if I can find it. The trucking company Prime Inc. is allegedly suing Amazon because of their Prime trailers. You know, the blue trailers that say there's more to Prime, a truckload more on the back. Because apparently people who have issues with Amazon Prime are then going and complaining to Prime Inc. So it's sort of ruining their good name, which I found interesting. Like I said, I'll link that, and I would have like pictures or maybe even the article itself up on the screen, but I didn't have time to go look for it. So if I remember to, I'll link that in the description at some point. So I never actually said it. I work for U-Haul. The reason I didn't say it is because I kind of had this fear that like someone higher up in U-Haul would see it and then go snooping and connect the dots, and then I'd get fired for recording in the truck or something like that. Which I feel like it would take a lot, and most people wouldn't really care enough to do that. But just to be safe, I'm not going to be recording in the trucks anymore. Which I didn't really in the first place. Everything I did record is on the channel, and I think the longest one was 6 minutes. The shortest, or they were all less than a minute long. So what I'm gonna do instead, because I take a lot of pictures to like show my family, my friends, and everything. So I'm gonna use some of those pictures, which is what I have here. I'm not gonna show all of them because these are from a couple weeks ago at this point. But just the ones I found interesting, like this one, for example. That's a bird nest on the fender of a U-Haul truck. I was walking through an overflow parking lot trying to find which truck I was taking, and nearly, almost literally walked into this bird nest. And I think that those are little birds right there that have been hatched. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. But that's a very odd place for a bird to make a nest because it's so in the open. All right, and then I think the only other one that I'll show from here right now. I drove this pickup truck. It's a Ford F-150. It was pretty close to new. It had around 2,000 miles on it, I think. So that was neat to be driving such a new truck. And then I actually drove a brand new Ford Transit. This had 24 miles on it when I got in it. And I also drove a Silverado. Okay, so this is the Silverado I drove. This one was a little bit older than the F-150, but as some of you may know from my bickerings with Bronco, I champion Chevrolet. I drive a Chevy Impala. He has his Ford F-150. We go head to head quite a lot. I much prefer driving the F-150 to the Silverado. It was a lot nicer to drive. It had more things to play with in the cab. Of course, like I said, it was a bit newer, but they're both base model trucks, and the Ford was just a lot nicer. Also, I don't like the way the 1500 Silverados look. So I just wanted to include those because I thought that was interesting that I could get an objective viewpoint on which truck was really better. I think the Ford is a lot better than the Chevy. The newer ones. Now you go pre-2000, I'll definitely always take a Chevy over a Ford. And then this one I saw coming home from work on Wednesday. That was actually last Wednesday. Now we're getting into pictures from last week. So this was coming home from work. I just thought this fit. So this is an old school bus, I think. You can see there's a ladder over here. There are shelves in the back. So they took an old school bus and turned it into a work van. And I think that that is very amusing. Now, personally, if I was going to do this, this is one of the really small ones. It had I think an E-Series Ford front end. What I would do is get one of the slightly larger ones, the handicap buses, because then you'd also have a lift. And, obviously you'd have more space, it's a little bigger. But it's still not a full size, so you'd still be able to get into neighborhoods and everything. But yeah, I saw that and thought it was very interesting. And kind of funny, at the next light after the one we're stopped at here, we both made a right turn, and when he turned right, I could see it didn't appear that the ladder was actually held on with anything solid on the side of the bus. It was just kind of bungee corded on there. Which, I mean, fair enough, but I just thought that was funny. And I could have misseen something. There could have been something like inside the ladder that I couldn't see. And the bungee cords were just to help secure it, but I don't know. And of course, it also has a trailer hitch. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then the last one, I forget what day this was. This was also Wednesday. So this is inside a Ford F650, and the Ford Transit had the same style door. So this here is the door latch. This is the door lock. So obviously this is an armrest. I put my arm across it apparently, and put my elbow right on the door lock, opened the door, and then as soon as I let go of the door latch, it re-locked it because my elbow was holding the lock down. So then I was getting out to look for a trailer so I could hook it up. I go back to get my gloves, and I can't get in the truck. And the passenger side door had been locked when I picked the truck up, and I never unlocked it. So this is just, I feel like this is sort of crappy design from Ford. Because these are really soft, you don't feel them. And, like, why couldn't they just put either the latch or the lock down here somewhere like they are in every other vehicle? I never really liked the design, and now I've actually gotten locked out because of it. So, moral of the story is always make sure your passenger door is unlocked if you have a vehicle with no central locking. So that was that. I feel like I'm being very monotone today. And then I had some other pictures that I was going to show when I was going to do this video last week, but like I said, I don't want to show all of them now because they're old. And I don't think I have anything specific to talk about with the channel. I touched on I was hoping to get an image of this, but ended up not being able to. My dad told me that he saw on the road a Kenworth K100 that I think he said had been stretched out, a bit. Like, stretched long enough to have a lift axle, but it didn't have a lift axle. And then it was an Aerodyne, stand-up sleeper. And it was painted like the General Lee. And like I said, I wanted to get an image of it because he thinks it was caught on his dash cam, but by this point it will have been overwritten, and I forgot to ask him about it. So that's a little bit upsetting, but that was one of the things we saw, and I thought it was funny. So yeah, beyond that, talking more of this style of video. So like I said, most of the time I'm gonna try to do it on Friday. If that doesn't work out, I might start doing it on Saturday instead. But I won't be doing it every week because some weeks I just don't see much interesting stuff. So if there's not enough to make a video, or I might do, like, if I have a slow week and then a decent week, I might just show everything in the next video. Just so it doesn't get redundant. So yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have anything else for this video today. And hopefully future videos of this type will be more cheerful. I'm kind of tired and trying to rush and everything. You know, I've got paperwork I need to fill out and I gotta go to work. So I just wanted to get this video done and uploaded. This one won't have a custom thumbnail, but I'm gonna try to make one for future videos. It's not gonna be anything fancy. It's probably just gonna, what I'm thinking is just a black background with the dates that the video encompasses. But this video is not gonna have that because I don't have time to do it. So, thank you for watching, and I don't know, I'd really like to just hear thoughts, and like I said, future videos of this type won't be exactly like this because I'll have more time to do them, hopefully. But, you know, if you can think of a better name for the series, maybe even, because, I mean, the Friday Report, it feels kind of generic. But I couldn't think of anything better. You know, if there's something different I could do, or if maybe I just shouldn't do these videos because I'm not good at them. Please let me know. I hope people actually watch this and enjoy it. But thank you anyway.